Test 1, 2, microphone check. Phone. Hi, Jesse McDougall here, coming at you with another book review today. This week we're going to cover super popular book, E-Myth. E-Myth Mastery. I believe this was originally written in, I think it was the 1970s, but we might need a fact checker there. But there was a revision done, and I read the revision. I didn't actually read the book. I listened to the audiobook one time on I think a 11-hour road session. I just slapped on the audiobook and went to town. I found the book kind of boring, to be honest. But if you don't have a business degree and you haven't studied business and accounting and financial models for 2 decades like I almost have, then yeah, there's going to be a lot of value in this book. The biggest thing I took out of this book, huge concept I took out of this book, and it was, as an entrepreneur, in business at all, okay, even if you're employee, boss, manager, whatever, understanding the metrics, the system. I talk about the money matrix. I talk about the martial art of money, understanding the spectrum and where all the pieces fit in the ecosystem that is money and life as well. So what I mean by that is there's 3 types of personalities. It's the easiest for me to talk about entrepreneurship because if you understand entrepreneurship, you can understand management and employee roles and why they're useful and where you fit and that kind of stuff and what your strengths are. That's all it's about. It's about finding your strengths, okay? So just like Gary Vaynerchuk says, you build on your strengths and you hire on your weaknesses. Forget your weaknesses. Don't worry about that. Just focus on what you're good at, okay? So the biggest thing in here that I took away was you need to understand there's 3 types of, you have 3 personalities inside yourself, okay? You have the technician, you have the manager, and you have the entrepreneur, okay? The technician enjoys having his tools, having his resources. He just wants to go to work. He just wants to do a good job. For example, you give him the idea for the code. You have these requirements. He just wants to go off and code, okay? Or if it's not computers, you give him the tools to fix the truck. He wants to go tinker and work on the truck and figure things out, okay? So that's kind of the science side of things. And these type of people are very detail orientated. Typically they are introverts. They like working alone. They're very internal with their language. That's not to be taken for weakness. I know quite a few introverts that are absolute beasts. You could just see the energy in their heart. They're just absolute beasts. So one thing with technicians is they kind of get frustrated that the world doesn't fit into their technical model. So one of the things you'll find is you understand some of their triggers. So if a technician's getting angry, it's usually because he has to accommodate his technical model that he's building to incorporate changes. Because technicians work a lot and they fix something and they want to stay that way, but technology and evolution, it keeps changing, so you always got to change. Okay, so the next one is a manager. A manager is someone who's good at people skills, delegation, and managing resources. I actually used to think that managers are lazy, and it's just because they want to tell other people what to do. And what I realized was that's just naive thinking. What I realized, the value, managers get paid more, right? When you start going the top of the ladder. Typically, you don't create this scenario where technicians get paid more than managers. We're not getting into that discussion, okay? We're getting into just the 80% of the issue is
managers get paid more than employees or technicians. Technicians aren't managers typically in this conversation, okay? So I'm talking about just managers. Now, to be able to manage resources and manage people,
and deal with people and have people's skills while understanding technology or a technician side of whatever you're in, that's very valuable. I've learned over time where I am in the marketplace and where I like to shine. There's a saying in the 48 Laws of Power. It's very rare when a man or a human can see more than what's beyond in front of them. And that was kind of awakening to me, because I always think I'm a strategy guy. So I'm thinking 4 steps ahead. I'm plotting, creating my path forward and then executing from where I currently am to make sure I keep going on my path. So it's chess, not checkers. I always say that. What was that movie out of Denzel Washington, Training Day? Great movie. So yeah, the manager manages the resources, manages people, manages the workload. Now the entrepreneur is the visionary. Okay, the entrepreneur he always lives in the future. If you ever see an entrepreneur get frustrated with his team or whatever, it's because his ego is out of check. His ego is in the future. Okay, but the future doesn't exist. Like, sure, we can close our eyes and dream about the future, but that doesn't exist. Those are affirmations. The only thing that exists is right now. So entrepreneurs, sometimes they'll get frustrated because they're not where they want to be. And that's where the patience of the martial arts of money is. It takes time, patience. It's not to be confused with being slow or being lazy. You need patience. Do the best you can. That's all you can really do. So entrepreneurs, they can only go as far forward into their mind, into their vision, as they have a team capable of walking with them. And that's where, for me, I'm all about teamwork in business. And I understand to build a sustainable business, you need a team. You can only go as far as your team. Now, in my experience, this has been kind of a minority view. My first 3 years as an entrepreneur, I learned some lessons that it's a pretty tough world out there. It's very dog eat dog, especially when you're trying to become an entrepreneur, trial by fire. If you're like, hey, I'm going to be the next multi-millionaire and this and that, you're going to come across some people, if not a lot of people, that are going to be stealing money from you, ripping you off, scheming you just to get your dollars out of your pocket. The whole game is to get dollars out of someone's pocket and into yours. Okay, there's a lot of people out there that their intention is just to it's a zero-sum game. Get dollars out of your pocket into theirs, and they move on with their agenda. I try to create win-win scenarios where I provide a service or something in exchange for equal value. I try to do that, but to be honest, what I'm learning that's the like heaven way, or the nice thing side about business. But that's just kind of the stage I'm at, and I'm staying true to my philosophy and my business ethics, because there's a lot of people out there with these ethics with a lot of money. And if you meet these people and you build relationships with these people, and if you're hardworking and honest, I truly believe with all my heart and soul that good things will happen to you. So, biggest thing about the E-Myth, I'm not going to go into anything more because, yeah, they go into delivery processes and all that, but I'll save the book for you. It's a big book, but this is one of the game-changing books. One of my influencers, we'll call him, he recommended this book about 6-7 years ago, and he was one of the first ones to really help my mental evolution into the next realm of the money matrix. What I mean by that, with less buzzwords, is learning about how money was made outside of the corporate route, the 9-to-5 corporate route. For my corporate gigs, it was never 9 to 5. I never got paid overtime. It was grind, high-paced, high-responsibility jobs. You're working 50, 60 hours a week. But, I'm not complaining. I learned a lot about money, had a lot of great experiences. Now I'm going to use those experiences to build my own company. And, that's great. So just to wrap this up, 3 personalities. We all have 3 personalities inside of us if we're thinking business. You have the technician, you have the manager, and you have the entrepreneur, and you have to work 3 of those personalities. If, especially as an entrepreneur, if you're on the entrepreneur path and you're like, you have to be a jack of all trades. So knowing that you have 3 personalities to feed yourself, or to feed your time and energy, you have to put into the technician, to the manager, to the entrepreneur. That's going to really help you moving forward, because the path of building your own business is very, very emotional. But I guess apparently it's one of the greatest paths in life that you can experience, like through growth and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Anyways, E-Myth Mastery, and I don't know what I'm going to give this book. I think I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. But who am I? This is a super famous book. But yeah, that was the biggest thing I got out of this book, and I think I listened to this audiobook about 3 years ago, and actually I used the technician, manager, entrepreneur message to quite a few of my clients when I sit down and talk with them about their businesses. Anyways, Martial Arts of Money, Jesse McDougall. Subscribe to my follower base, and take care. Have a great day. Bye.